Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media, and it is day 9 of the hashtag Mixed Media March 25, hosted by Ceri Griffiths, aka Ceri the Crafter. As always, I will link the video below where he gives all of the guidelines and rules for the challenge. So my idea today, I've not tried this yet, it's just an idea that I have. I want to cut out some petals and make a flower. I cannot remember if I did these on the gel plate or not, but that's okay. My background will have some gel plates. So, and I don't know how big I want my petals to be, and also what shape I want them to be. I'm just going to cut out some random shapes. I have a lot of these that are like similar color, and that's just a different, doesn't have the texture on it, or has a different texture on it. So I thought that might be interesting. You can just do regular shaped teardrop kind of leaves. You don't have to do weird ones like I do. I just kind of like interest, I guess. So I'm just randomly cutting out petals. I'm not even drawing out my lines or anything first. And okay, this feels weird. I'm going around a different direction. They don't all have to be the same size. Some can be bigger, some can be smaller. I'd like to have 9 though. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. Got 4. We have 4. We've got, I don't know, 5. And then let's do some out of this paper. This just has, I do want them to be somewhat similar in size. I think this is pretty much where we are with that. And that way, they'll stand out a little bit, you know? Do you know? You might know. And if you don't have confidence in cutting out petals without drawing them first, you can go ahead and draw them first. You might want to draw them on the back and then cut them out, and then, you know, whatever's left. 1. I just need 1 more, right? It's a little bit shorter and fatter. That's alright. And then we want a circle to go in the middle, so I think I will just take my smallest. Well, we don't want it to be a perfect circle. That's okay. I can cut it. I'm trying to get a hole punch, circle punch. I want it more yellow than, I know this is a card that I could use as a card, but also it has yellow on it like I want. Wait, is there yellow in here? Ooh, some of this might work too. I don't know. It's just so pretty though. I was thinking about using this for some leaves at some point, so. Okay with taking out a little circle. Now, if you don't want your circle to be a perfect circle, you just cut around it like it's a circle. And if you don't have a hole punch, just go ahead and use something to get your circle. So now it's not a perfect circle. I didn't want a perfect circle. Flowers are not perfect, and so, you know, we kind of don't want perfect. Will I have to add another petal? I might. Will I make it then on day 10? I don't know. We'll see. I want these to alternate. Alright, I think I need an even number to do that. Or don't have them alternate. That is also a possibility. Okay, so I'm going to turn these upside down so I don't know what order I do them, and then I won't have to worry about how they come out. So let's go ahead and put some glue on my circle and start adding. Whoops, we're going upside down, Darcy. Pay attention. You just said it. Oops. Okay, there's not a lot of glue going on there. Oh, crumbs. Sorry about that. Hubby was calling and I figured I better answer. I don't know. How do I feel about this? Okay, that can definitely go in a little further. The petals are very long. That might not have been. They might be a little longer than I wanted. So we are going to I don't know what you're going to do, but I am going to readjust. I'm going to jello it. Jello, not concrete. When you're creating, sometimes you need to make some adjustments, and it's okay. Still feels really big. I made my petals really long. All right, I'm going to shorten them all. Like I said, I've not done this before. Ugh. And they don't all have to be pointed in the middle either, because they're going to get covered. So I'm just cutting off about 1/3 of an inch or so. I guess one of them's shorter than the others, isn't it? This one doesn't need as much cut off. All right, and where'd my circle go? It's a circle. Do, 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 do. All right, adding more glue. And then we'll probably add more glue. And I may do some doodling on it. We'll see. Let's see, you probably want to go across on some of these so you're not having such a big buildup in on your back here. It's going to be a lot of, because it's cardstock, so you know, it's just a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want one more. I don't think I cut that one off. Okay, so that should be good for a flower. And it'll get glued on the page as well, hopefully. I don't know if that's really thick in the middle. Maybe this was not a good idea to use cardstock with. Maybe paper is a better option, or have a bigger circle in the middle, maybe, so they can be spread out more. Yep, I think we're going to have to go with a bigger circle, I think. Well, thanks for joining me as I fumble about with this project. Hey, you can learn with me what not to do. That's what we're doing. All right, bigger circle, I think is going to be, doesn't have to be quite that big though. But bigger, kind of like this. And I might even put a smaller one in the middle, maybe a couple like that and another piece or something. That could be fun. That way, I don't have to have them all meeting in the middle. You know what I mean? They can just kind of hit that paper back here. Some of them might overlap, but they won't all overlap. That was the issue I was having, is where it was just all overlapping and causing issues. Stay. I need you to stay. I don't know which one's fatter. Yep, it's getting messy back here with all the gluey fingers and whatnot, but yep, it's a little flatter now. That's what I was going for. All right, it's still cute though. Oh my goodness. Why do you hate me, little petal? All right, and then we can adjust and see if I want to pull any out a little bit. If I can, I will. Well, that got ripped off totally. That's all right. All right, and I don't mind that it's wonky. Wonky's not a bad thing when it comes to flowers, and especially if we're going to be doing a little bit of doodling and whatnot on them. I don't want a perfect circle, so I'm just going to cut around this, which will make it less perfect because I can't cut a circle to save my life. I don't know about you, but I cannot. Okay, so we just have a big honking flower on here, and I want to do a little bit of I want to find a base for it, and also I want to do some doodling on it. I was thinking, let's put the cover on the glue, lady. Maybe do a little bit of cleanup. Okay, I'm going to pause. Be right, oh my goodness, right back. All right, I want to glue this piece on, and then I want to stamp a 9 on it. I'm trying to think of what color I want to stamp the 9. I'm actually going to put a little bit up so the circle of the 9 is in the circle, and the rest of the 9 will be below because my stamp is a little bigger than that. And then I was also thinking, I wish this wasn't cardstock, but it's what I've got, of just ripping out a little bit here and there and making it like a little patch. It's a little big, isn't it? Just go down a little bit more. And making some little patches on the flower is what I was thinking about doing. Do I want to ink them? I think I do, and I think I'll ink them with a little turquoise. This is what I think I'll do. Alright, so I just kind of glue them on there willy-nilly. I inked them with the turquoise before, or it's Warm Breeze is what that's called, but it's a turquoisey color. And then I'm just going to come around the back and trim off the excess bits. That way I didn't have to worry about getting them cut perfectly to put on. I just put them on however, and then I knew I could come in and trim it off. That just felt like the easiest way. And then if I see some that maybe I want to round off the things, maybe they're a little pointy, my petals, or too long or too short, you can adjust. And this is a gel plate print, so really if that's all I used for gel plate, that would work. And this is Bloopy Loops. This stencil right here from PM Artist Studio is Bloopy Loops. Okay, now I want a thin. How thin? Do I want to just use that? Because then I know it's going to be thin. Definitely not the 1.5. I got a 0.5 and a medium. Where my small is. Let's see. Might be. The thing is, that one's easier to use because it's not so finicky, but this one's really thin. So I just kind of want to outline, and I'm doing it right inside. I think that might be, I don't know. And I'm doing my messy. If I had done this beforehand, then I would have been able to kind of trim around it. And I'm not doing the lines on the those patches because they were there after the lines, in a way, kind of, sort of. So if I had done the petals first, I could have kind of come in around the squiggly lines and had a little bit more interest in the shape of my petals. Maybe next one. I don't even know if you can even hardly see that, but it's almost like an irregular heartbeat. Just little scribbles or whatever. I don't know. It's just how I like to do things. I can't do them perfectly, so I do them imperfectly on purpose. That's how I feel about things. And I might cut out some petals and do this and show you the difference between when I cut it after I do these lines compared to when I don't. All right, and then also I think we want to kind of go doot 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 doot, a little doot doot, little what is this? It's a little crease. Petals have little creases, like they're a little bit of a, that's underneath the patch. Just adds a little bit when you're doing, especially when you're doing doodling. And let's see, I'll do around this, but not the inside one because that's where the 9 is going. I still got to do that. Hubby and son are upstairs talking. I don't think they realize that I'm recording. Let's see, I was thinking about, if I do, I'll do it with a marker, I guess. Alright, so my 9, what I have it, here it is. I was gonna, I wasn't sure what color I was gonna do it in. That's what I was struggling with. Might be a 6, but it's okay. Well, we're going this way. There we go. It's okay for the music to go sideways. So there's our 9 for day 9. And we need a background. Okay, so I could do a simple background. Actually, that works all right. All right, I think I'm just going to do this on a card. Maybe music paper behind it, because that might show through just a little bit. Just a little bit. I wonder if, yeah, it would show through just a little bit. I'll just go ahead and do this one that has a lot of, I think it's just scales, but that's okay. It's only going to show through a little bit, and it doesn't have to be this big. So, how big do we want it? Just need to make sure my flower is a 9 when I'm done with it, huh? That would be nice. How about... Oh, here, this will work. If you can write on the back of that. So that is wide enough that way. So I'll cut this down. And I don't even mind if it's good cardstock. So if it comes off the edge a little bit, that's okay too. So I'm actually gonna go a little bit shorter. And still a triangle, right? Rectangle. I don't think I made it a perfect square. Oh, let's hope not. I mean, a square is just a wonky rectangle, right? I can't tell what it is. All right, it's not. It's a little bit shorter this way than this way. So technically, it's a rectangle. That's one of the rules. All right, and I'm going to put it this way on the back, so if you're writing, you have your lines you can follow, although that makes the words upside down. Fine, we'll do it that way. You're welcome, Cheryl. You're welcome. Just going to glue this down. I know I have a glue stick somewhere. Get that out of my way, just so I don't get glue all over it. This glue's almost gone. Of course it is. I'm just going to use glue stick to glue both down. Both the music and the gel plate print. And I think that other gel plate print is, let's get this straighter if I do this. I was going to do this upside right, wasn't I? Ironworks, I think. Potentially by Rhonda Dona. This one I'm talking about, that stencil. And the other one, the Bloopy Loops, that's a PM Artist Studio stencil designed by PM Artist Studio themselves. My chair keeps rolling back. It is driving me crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so I'm very excited. I am going, well, by the time you watch this, I'll already be in Massachusetts by the time this airs. I'm trying to do as many videos ahead as I can. And so I'm planning to drive up on Friday and stop at Emmetsville Antiques Mall in Maryland and check out some places in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I've been wanting to do that for so long, to just stop in Lancaster and spend the day there and do some shopping. And then I'm going to stay in a hotel overnight and then drive the rest of the way up to my grams and my aunts, which would be about 6.5 hours Saturday. Which is still shorter than the 9-hour trip it would be if I didn't take a break. So yeah, I'm very excited. I haven't told my husband all that part yet. He just knows I'm driving up to Massachusetts. He's afraid I'll buy a bunch of stuff. But I'm actually, because I know that I've overbought in the past, I'm actually fairly picky now about what I buy and what I'm willing to invest in. Oh look, there's my little heart from Mariah and Patricia, PM Artist Studio. Oh, did you ever get to see this one? Somehow it got a stamp touched it, but this one was from Mariah too. All right, they wanted to be shown apparently because they were just falling off. This glue is stinky. That is very thick. All right, I like it to go this way, and I like it to be straight. And the only way I can make sure it's straight is if I come from back here and hope that I get it somewhat straight. That goes 6 shade away. Okay. So good. Yes, we can see a little bit of the music coming through. Enough to make it worth putting the music behind it rather than just having nothing behind it. Because this was done on tissue paper. It feels like just regular. Like I got some like heavy tissue paper at Amazon at some point that was recommended by Sharon at Texture Junkies. So it's just a little bit heavier, and it works nicely too if you don't have the Carnival wet strength tissue or you can't afford it. It's not as strong as the wet strength, but I mean, I was able to get that big of a print on there and not have a problem. I don't know why I can't. This is taking too long for me. Let's just do this. It's just faster. Save those, have straps for another time, or put them in a little scrap thing for the shop or whatever. Yeah, I think when I cut the other one, it was not perfect. I think I cut off a little bit. That made it a little bit, this one's definitely wonky. So this one's got more than one gel plate print on it. That's definitely wonky, man. Definitely got, scissors are not my friend. I'm telling you right now. No, it might be a square now. I hope not. Let's see. Nope, it's still a rectangle. I think it goes that way. Does it matter? A little bit. 9. And I don't like, in the middle would not work for me. Off to the right just a little bit works just fine for me, or up to the right. I like it's got some of the color, a darker version of this color repeated back there. So I think this is going to go right here. And I'm going to use my stronger glue and just glue, but at least the middle. It's strong enough, I think, that if it's sticking up a little bit, it'll be okay. There we go. Do I want to put a border around? Yeah, I do. Where's that other pen? The medium. Because I want it to be a little bit... Oh, first I'm going to ink it like I did the other bits with the turquoise. Bring some more of that to the outside. I thought the green would be a nice background since I don't have any leaves on here necessarily. So I'll have to figure out if I want to do anything with the corners or not. It's very damp because the glue is wet. Alright, and I had wanted to do something with these, like some little stitch marks. Do I want to outline these? I think I do. And do little stitch marks. So the little patches are going to get outlined and have little stitch marks. And the stitch marks, I just randomly place little double lines. And then the outside of this, I think I'm going to frame it with the thicker marker. With just, sometimes I'll do this and then I'll cut around it, which gives it like an interesting, not perfect shape, but it would still be a rectangle. It just would not have straight lines. Should I do that? Maybe not. Maybe not this time, but another time. She says, as she's like, maybe though. Just adds a little bit of interest. Oops. So what I mean is, since my line's not perfect, what I do is I just kind of follow it just loosely, just a little bit, like kind of evenly around the whole thing. And so some places, and then here it goes in a little bit, and there it goes in a little bit, there it goes in a little bit. There it pokes out a little bit. There it kind of curves around a little bit. I know, can you even see? I can barely see. It's a little bit more noticeable down here. Sometimes I have it. Sometimes it's more noticeable just because I've done... Now I have to ink it again, don't I? cover the sticky glue. I don't have to ink it, but I want to. I want to. I want to. Do, 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 do. Might even want to have some of that turquoise in the background, just a little bit here and there. Just bring in some more of that. There. So that is my piece for March 9th for the Mixed Media March 25, hosted by Ceri Griffith, aka Ceri the Crafter. And oh, I was going to show you if I did the leaf the other way, if I actually were to go ahead and do the lines, how the petals would look different when I cut them out, because I would use those lines like I did the outside of the frame. I would just follow it about the same distance around, kiss cut it. That's what we call kiss cutting, right? You just kind of follow it the same distance as much as you can around the edge. So instead of just having it, just so you can see it's not a perfectly teardrop, it's got some little bits. You can see it better if I used a bigger, thicker marker, huh? Nope, that's not the thicker marker, Darcy. Not helpful if you don't actually use the thicker marker. I do that with leaves too. I'll draw them and then cut them. You might want to wait for it to dry before you go touching it, that's all. So I just kind of follow that a little bit. Just kiss cut around all those wonky lines that I made. Trying not to touch it because it's still wet on the acrylic paint. It's not a porous surface. So. But makes for an interesting petal that could then be used in another flower. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you have a delightful day. Love you. Yes, I'm signing it. I'm signing it, Ceri. I'm signing it. Well, I'm trying to sign it, but it's not quite dry yet, so I'll sign it when it's dry.